You are going to hear a talk about making the most of graduate school. As you listen, answer questions 1 to 10. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. Now, listen carefully to the conversation and answer questions 1 to 10.
Good afternoon. Welcome to you, new entrants to the graduate school. My job now is to give you the graduate school survival guide and make some concise suggestions for getting the most out of your relationship with our research supervisor, getting the most out of what you read, and making continual progress with your research. First, your relationship with your supervisor. This is fundamental. Meet regularly. You should expect to meet once a week or at least every other week because this will give you the motivation to make progress and also keeps your advisor aware of your work. Prepare for your meetings. Come to each meeting. Also, bring the notes from your previous meeting together with a list of any upcoming deadlines. Make a plan for what you hope to get out of each meeting. After the meeting, email your supervisor a brief summary. Include a list of major topics discussed, a list of what you agreed on, a note of any advice you may not want to follow, and a new summary of what you are planning to do. This helps avoid misunderstandings and provides a handy record of the progress of your research. Add a to-do list for yourself and your supervisor, including a reading list. Finally, add the time and date for the next meeting. My second main piece of advice is to keep your supervisor informed. Show him or her the results of your work as soon as possible. This helps your supervisor understand your research and identify any potential points of conflict early in the process. Include summaries of your work, including any results of experiments, and also anything you write about your research. Thirdly, communicate clearly. If you disagree with your advisor, state your objections and concerns clearly and calmly. If you feel that something about your relationship is not working, discuss it with him or her. Whenever possible, suggest steps that they could take to address your concerns. Under this heading, it is extremely important to take the initiative. You do not need to clear everything you do in your research with your advisor. He or she is busy too. You must be responsible for your own ideas and the progress of your work. The second section of my talk is about getting the most out of what you read. The first principle here is to be organized. Keep an electronic bibliography with notes and pointers to the paper files. Keep and file all the papers you have read. Point 2. Be efficient. Only read what you need to. Start by reading only the conclusion, scanning figures and tables, and looking at their references. Read the other sections only if the paper seems relevant or you think it might help you get a different perspective. Skip the sections you think you already understand. These are often the background and motivation sections. It's of critical importance to take good notes on every paper you find worth reading. Note especially what problem the author is trying to solve, what approach they take to the problem, and how their approach differs from other approaches. Next, summarize what you have read on each topic. After you have read several papers on the same topic, note the key problems, the various formulations of the problem under consideration, the relationship between the various approaches and the alternative approaches you come across. Let me add one point you might not have already thought of. Read PhD theses. Even though they are long, They can be very helpful for quickly learning about what has been done in your field of interest. Focus particularly on the background sections and method sections. Don't forget to read your advisor's thesis. This will give you an idea of what he or she expects from you. The third section of my talk is about making continual progress with your research. Keep a journal of your ideas. Write down every issue you are thinking about, even if you think it is stupid. This will help you keep track of your progress and keep you from going round in circles. Set yourself some reasonable goals and deadlines. Identify key tasks that need to be completed. Set a reasonable date for completing them, in terms of weeks or months. Share your goals and deadlines with your advisor. Indeed, enlist his or her help in creating them. Set some deadlines that you cannot avoid keeping. For example, volunteer to give a student seminar on your research or work towards the submission deadline for a conference paper. Once you have set your goals and deadlines, keep a to-do list. Checking off the items on a to-do list can feel very rewarding when you are working on a long-term project. Discuss your research with anyone who will listen. They may have useful insights. At least you will find that putting your ideas into words helps clarify them for yourself. Next point, write about your work. In the early stages, write short idea papers and share them with your advisor and colleagues. Later on, look for workshops and conferences where you can submit your preliminary results. When your work is nearing completion, target relevant journals. Finally, some points about handling yourself. A key objective is to avoid distractions. It is easy to waste time taking too many classes, teaching classes, organizing student activities, etc. Minimize these commitments and make a list of small tasks which can be done in about an hour. Pick at least one that can be completed each day and make sure you do it. Finally, and this concludes my talk, confront your fears and weaknesses. If you are nervous about speaking in public, volunteer to give talks. If you are afraid your ideas are stupid, discuss them with someone. If you are anxious about writing, write something about your research every day. That's it. Welcome to graduate school.